Peace and blessings, family. We are getting ready to kick this thing off here in a minute. And today we're going to be talking about don't run away from your issues. If you run away from your issues, you cannot solve it by running away from it. I'll be bright, getting ready to go on a short break real quick. It is on Vibe Tribe once again. Thank you so much for tuning in for your life hacks with yours truly, Bockarie Jombor. Okay, every Sunday and Thursday, EY Pele Movement Ministries, we go live. Preferably on Thursdays, we actually do spiritual journey. My wife and I have been very, very, very busy. So we are definitely going to do the program together. I know some of you, for those of you who love us as, the power couple that you know us as, a lot of you love it when we come together. And so, my wife is in ministry as well. And my wife is a spiritual teacher too. So, we do this together. My wife is always in the background, making the magic happen, keeping the businesses going. And she's the administrator and financial, manager as well. And we've been very busy. We give thanks. Business picking up. We give thanks, not complaining. Okay, but we definitely been very busy. Both just got over severe colds. We thank you all so much for your love and support. Thank you all for your prayers. My grandmother has just transitioned on this past Sunday. I found that out. Then, the week before that, I had a family feud with a family member. So we do this in real life. I don't believe in just sitting up behind a microphone and a camera and sharing advice with you guys. I actually live this in real life. And so today, again, we're going to talk about not running from your issues, right? So as I just aforementioned, some people would like for you to think that their lives is just peaches and cream because they're spiritual teachers and they just have it all together and everything just goes their way all the time, and that's just not the way that it is. Okay. Um, a lot of us, we have things, even those of us in position, okay, and those of us who are not in position, all of us have things in our lives that we have to face, okay? In this life, I like to say there's an obstacle course of life, okay? And you welcome, beautiful. Thank you so much for your love and support, my queen. I appreciate it. You're always in my corner batting for me, as long as I'm doing the right thing. That's one thing I love about my queen. She definitely is a woman of integrity. If it's not right, she's not gonna be back there, and I don't blame her because I don't want her to do it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, um, we all have things in our lives that we have to face, and what I recognize is that you ignoring it doesn't make it go away. Okay, if you have a cut and it's a deep cut, okay, and you're bleeding profusely, right? If you never tend to the wound, if you just, oh, well, I'm just going to ignore it and I'm going to just act like it's not there, okay, you'll bleed to death, right? And that's what happens to a lot of us. We kill our dreams, we kill our visions, okay? We unfortunately have bad social lives because a lot of us don't like to deal with our issues, okay? Pride gets in the way. And I'm not talking about the pride in the sense of good pride, Okay, because there's a pride that you have that's good. Okay, you have pride in taking care of your family. Uh, you have pride in doing good deeds. Okay, you have pride in doing things the right way, right? You have pride in your appearance, right? So there are some things that are not necessarily negative when it relates to pride, right? But we're talking about the point of arrogance. Okay, like you just have it all together, you do no wrong, and you're always justifying, what you've done, and you never really deal with the issue of yourself. It's always somebody else, right? And listen, I have to tell you this in love. Everybody can't be wrong. If you have multiple people about you, talking about you rather, excuse me, that knows you, okay, or who has worked with you, okay, and everybody is saying the same thing. Listen, I just don't believe that everybody lying. Okay, it's something that you have to deal with. Okay, and I like to use my own personal life because, again, like I say, I like to be transparent. Okay, I believe that transparency helps to bring transformation. Okay, and with that being said, there were some things that I seen about me in the beginning of my marriage. My wife and I have been married over 7 years. Okay. And I had a very bad temper. Okay. I had a very bad temper. I was ill tempered. Okay. I had some internal issues that I was dealing with. I wasn't managing my stresses properly. I wasn't managing my anger properly. Okay. And so I handled situations not violently. Okay. But I did say some things that I shouldn't have said, and I did say certain things in a way which isn't considered to be a respectful tone. Okay. I was a person who yelled. Okay. I flew off the handle, to the point where, it made her afraid, you know what I'm saying? Okay, what is he going to do? Even though he hasn't done it, even though he hasn't hit me, but, he's real aggressive in his demeanor. He's real aggressive in his verbal expressions, and I don't know what's going to happen. You understand? And so I, had to hear her heart from love and look at myself and say, you know what? You need to work on that. And just because you're angry doesn't mean that you have to speak in that tone or act a certain way, okay? And it's not justifiable of saying hurtful things, right? So I had a dream, okay? Again, I'm unapologetically spiritual, okay? I have dreams and I have visions. That's just what happens to me, okay? And in my prayer time, okay, I see reflections of not others. Bockarie see reflections of himself. Yes, yes, because when I pray, I seek out the truth. Okay. And even if that truth is about me, that's fine. Okay. I don't like everything I see about me. Do you understand? Everything about Bockarie's character is not perfect. Okay. Of course, to none of you surprised, right? Me being a human being, we all have frailties. Okay. We all have errors in our thinking, in our ways, contrary to popular some people's belief. You know what I'm saying? Some people just think that they're all that in a bag of chips with some dip and a soda, and this is the reason why a lot of them are alone. Okay, and a lot of them like to try to put it off on other people's. Well, I just haven't found nobody that can suit me. No, you just haven't found anybody that's going to accept the error of your characters. You just haven't found someone who's going to accept your nasty attitude. Okay, you just haven't found someone who's going to allow you to take out things on them that they did not do. Okay, let's just keep it real here. Okay, healing and deliverance does not come with people lying. Let's be clear. Let's be clear about this. Okay, let's just be clear. You really want people around you that's going to make you feel good in your mess. All right, we're gonna get busy tonight. We're gonna put in this work here. Okay, this ministry believes in speaking the truth and whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you. Okay, some of you will not find the special someone because of the way that you are. It's not always because of who you are dating. Okay, it's not always the other person. Sometimes it's you. Okay, and your denial keeps getting you denied love. Okay, your denial keeps denying you success. Why? Because you don't want to face the reality that you are not all that. You don't want to face the reality that you have things that you need to work on. You don't want to face the reality that just because you are grown does not mean that you can say and do whatever you want to do. Okay? Oh, actually you can, right? But here's the question. Are you willing to accept the consequences of you doing so? Listen, hear me very clearly. It wasn't my wife that was the problem. It was Bockarie that was the problem. And had I not looked at the mirror of truth and accepted my reflection, I would have lost a good thing trying to hold on to the bad things. Let me repeat that again tonight. If I would have held on to the bad things about Bockarie, then I would have lost a good thing. In fact, I would have missed good things in my life had I not worked on my character. I would have forfeited my blessings because Bockarie used to be a thug. And Bockarie used to be a person that handled things in a thuggish way. Okay? Not hood way. Okay? In an immature way. You understand? Because people's conduct, you know what I'm saying, is not hood. Okay? I understand. I know that we're accustomed to saying, oh, he or she just so hood. No, the truth is they're just immature. It's just immaturity. Understand this, that your age just says how long you've been here on this earth. Your age does not equate to maturity. I know a lot of us don't want to hear this. A lot of us, we want the respect of an adult, but yet we're acting like adolescents. Uh-oh. Let's see who really want to go to another level. Because people say they love the truth until the truth is about them. So not knowing the truth is going to set you free, contrary to popular belief. No. It's you applying the truth that you know that will set you free. Right? So a lot of us, okay, are not very trusting. A lot of us haven't dealt with our wounds from our childhood. A lot of us has even experienced things in our adulthood. And we bring this baggage into relationships, and it also affects our social life. And men as well is included in this, because especially men, a lot of us, we're holding on to things because we're taught that if we express our pain, if we express, okay, anything that will make us vulnerable, we're considered to be weak. Now, I'm not saying every time someone turn around, you crying and slobbing and you falling all over the place. I'm not saying that now. Now you need some psychological evaluation if you're doing that. All right, you need some help, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going there with you now. I'm not. That's taking it to the extreme. You understand? But we have to deal with our internal issues, and this is what's disrupting our social lives. This is what's also keeping us from coming together in the family unit. Okay, the man has experienced things traumatic. The woman has experienced things traumatic. And then you got the man, and I have to address this because this really is a part two because I didn't finish it last time. So I want to dive back into it now so we can touch bases on this because the truth of the matter is that we have to heal. Okay, men, brothers, let me talk to you for a minute. Okay, when I was younger, I was molested. That's right, by a female, relative. And I was molested by female friends of my mother. Okay. And I was violated. And I'm not talking about a man penetrating me or anything like this. We all adults, so I have to just be honest about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be very blunt. Okay, I believe we can have this discussion, right? You know what I'm saying? And I held on to that for years, and I had to go to, my mother and talk about it, and tell her some things that happened, right? But I held that in for a very long time, right? And some of us as men have been violated by other men, right? And there's some things that has happened to us that has mentally traumatized of us. Some of us, we've been violated in a place that we consider to be a place of safety. It happened to us at home. It happened to us by family members. It happened to us at the church place. But people just want to keep trying to paint this perfect picture about society, like as if though nothing happens. Okay, a lot of us have been verbally abused. A lot of us have been physically abused. Okay, a lot of us have been abandoned. Okay, some of us have been lied to in relationships. Some of us have trusted and continuously kept getting hurt. And until we deal with these issues, we will never be able to be in a whole relationship because we ourselves are not whole. Okay, you cannot build a stable foundation with a broken foundation. You understand? Does that make any sense? Okay, you can't build a shelter, okay, with broken bricks. You can't build a stable house with pillars that has cracks in it. It's not stable, right? So how can we then expect for us to come together and build strong family foundations when we're all broken? It's time for the healing to begin. Hey, Sister Fizzy, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that, man. It's my little sister right there. All right. So how can we then have strong foundations in our families, right? When some of us even have sexual addictions. Yes. We have to deal with this. We have to go on the inside because remember what you see on the outside is the inner workings. Okay, is what's going on in the inside. You really got to start getting to the root of why are you so angry? Why are you so bitter? Because some men can't stand women. Why? Because of the pain and the hurt, the abandonment, what they experience from a female relative or a female that they dated. Vice versa with the woman. Okay, the woman has continue to experience traumatic things from men, and and she's bitter, she's angry, she's frustrated, and she can't stand men. You understand? And even when she tried, well, I really want to be in this relationship. I really don't want to be by myself. But the pain that you're still holding on to is prohibiting you, brother and sister. Okay? Vibe Tribe, listen, the healing has to begin. Because you can't run away from your issues thinking that the issue is going to be resolved. It's not enough to put a Band-Aid on it. Okay, you're just covering it up. But there's still a wound under the Band-Aid. So in other words, you bandaged it with your success, man and woman. Yes, you bandaged it with your pride. I don't need nobody. I don't need no woman, brother. I don't need no man, sister. So really what it is that wound. It's a wound under there that you have not resolved. And because you have not resolved it, it is actually keeping you from having what is really yours. And that's true love. That's true happiness. That's true peace. The unforgiveness. The bitterness that's there. Well, why I need to forgive them? They did this. They said that. Listen, the Vibe Tribe, no one is saying what they did is right. I want you to take an assessment of your life, and I want you to ask yourself your question. What has holding on to those things done for your life positively? Again, by you holding on to those things, what has holding on to those negative things that has happened to you done for your life positively? Listen, my father told me at the age of 5 he didn't want to see me anymore. I'm a motivational speaker. I share this story quite a bit. Okay? My mother gave me away to my grandmother. I was very upset with my mother. I was like, well, you should have gave up the narcotics instead of giving me up. My father abandoned my mother and didn't give any help. Do you not know that when I seen my father told me at the age of 5, right? Now listen, I seen my father 11 years later, downtown Rochester. I will never forget this. After high school, just got out from school, and I was getting ready to go on the bus, and automatically I knew. I said, man, that's my father. That's my dad. I said, excuse me. He looked, and he had this mean look on his face at first. He said, what you say? I said, Daddy, it's me. He said, Alton? And that was my name, family, before I got it legally, changed, to a Mende name, which I took upon that from my mother's side of the family when I found out that we're Mende. And so I took upon a Mende name. That's a Bockarie Jombor. The ethnic background of it is Mende. But nevertheless, my father didn't know that I heard him on the phone telling my mother he didn't want to see me, he didn't want nothing to do with me, etc. He didn't know. But when he was talking to me, he tried to blame my mother. And I told my father, about 98% of the conversation that I heard him say to my mother. And guess what? His eyes got big like a saucer. It looked like he about seen a ghost. And then at that time, I expressed my disgruntledness without being disrespectful, because he's still my father. and I addressed that issue. And before my father transitioned, I got to share this with you because I want you to understand I'm not just on here talking. I had to forgive people. I had to heal. Okay? So it's not me sitting up in here, oh, he got such this good life. First of all, I grew up on welfare. I grew up in the inner city. I know what it is to go to the corner store to get credit at the corner store. I seen drugs. I seen alcoholism. Okay, I seen crime. Okay. So I experienced traumatic things too that gave me PTSD. You understand? You know, and so I had to learn how to deal with the traumatic things that happened in my life as well. So I had to learn how to forgive and understand when you forgive a person, it's not saying that they were right for what they have done. It's to free yourself up. Listen, I was done wrong by some women. I was lied on. I was lied to. Both of my sons' mothers wouldn't even allow me to be a part of my son's life because I didn't want to be with them because of the way that they are. And they got upset with me and they took it out on our son and at the same time hurting him because of them being bitter. This is the reason why I say that running away from your issues is not going to resolve the problem. Because I'm going to tell you something, while you're holding on those issues, you become the issue and you become the one that's the offender. Oh, yes. And so I had to, man, I wanted to body them. I wanted to body them. I had to deal with, and I need you guys to hear me very clearly. I had to deal with the lies that was told to my son, and my son and our relationship was rocky because of the lies that his mother told him. And I had to deal with that. I had to pray. I had to meditate. I had to control myself so I wouldn't end up in jail. So I want you to hear me clearly now. I'm just not on here talking like, oh, you know, it just, you know, just get over it. No, 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 no. I understand. It's easier said than done. It takes some spiritual work. And this is the reason why you have to get by yourself. And this is the reason why you have to pray and meditate and ask yourself these questions. Why am I so angry? Why am I acting this way? Why do I feel the way that I feel? Hey, Sister Darlene, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that, sister. Sister said amen to that. My wife, she said, face it. Good Sister Darlene, she said, there's a good book on forgiveness. It's called Forgive What You Can't Forget. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, good sister. I'm going to leave that up there so you guys can, you know, get that book. My good sister, Dehelia, she said, amen. Let me put that book back up there, man. I think that there's something that you definitely want to get to sow some good seed into your life and so you can bear good fruit. Okay. And so family, I shared those personal situations with you because listen, I could have talked bad about my son's mother to my son. I could have had said all these things about, oh, your mother's not this, your mother's not that, your mother's a liar, your mother's boo, 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 boo. You know what I'm saying? I never did that. Until one day, he started telling me stuff that was told to him and it was all lies. And I had to debunk those lies. And then I had to tell him the truth. See, let the truth be told, family, we have these internal issues that's keeping us from interconnecting with one another. And a lot of people are not being real about these things. A lot of people, they just want you to come together, oh, kumbaya, and you know what I'm saying? How can you do that when you're hurting? How can you do that when you're not over it? You understand? How can you really go forward when what's in your past is pulling you backwards? Huh? Right? So listen, what I would like to see for you, and hopefully you would like to see this for yourself, is for you to get healed, okay, so you can have heaven on earth. Hey, greetings, good sister. How you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. So, beloved, what I would like to see is for you to get healed so you can have heaven on earth. Your healing will bring heaven on earth from your mental trauma, okay, from the physical trauma that's caused mental trauma, right? Okay, you got to deal with the cheating trauma because men, some of you have been cheated on and you heard it. Women, definitely sisters, have been cheated on. You understand? And both genders have been verbally, physically abused. Both genders have been abandoned. Both genders having trust issues, right? So until we actually get to the root, it's going to manifest itself. Listen, the tree is the result of the root. So you got to think about it. Is it good fruit or is it bad fruit? What fruit are you manifesting in your life? And whatever the fruit that may be, you got to get to the root of it to resolve it. And you have to do the internal work. And listen, someone may have caused that pain on you, but guess what? It's still your responsibility to heal yourself from that pain. Go see a psychologist if you need to. Go see a spiritual counselor if you need to. Okay, if that's what you need to do, dear brother and sister, listen to me, Vibe Tribe. If you want to go higher, I'm telling you from experience, had I not done that, had I not had a healthy outlet, okay, had I not been a person of prayer and meditation and venting, even when I'm by myself, venting, getting it out. Get by yourself, get it out. Because when you get it out, now you can bring yourself out. When you keep it in, then you stay in that same situation. So again, get it out so you can get out of that spiritual dilapidated state that you are in, both male and female, across the board. Men, it's time. It is time. It is time to stop thinking that you are weak, because let the truth be told, guess what? The truth of the matter is what's weakening you is what you're holding on to, my brother. Yes, yes. See, the reason why a lot of our families are in a dilapidated state is because the lack of love. And I understand, brother, you can't give what you don't have. See, our issue as men is that we've been taught the wrong view about ourselves as men, and we have been taught the wrong thing about women. Vice versa. Some women, you heard, oh, men ain't nothing but dogs, and then that's what you start thinking, right? You understand? And then guess what happens? A joker lied to you, then he cheat on you, okay, commit adultery or cheat on you, and what happened? Oh, see, they was right. See, they ain't nothing but this, and this. And guess what that does? Guess what that does? Guess what that does? Men and women who both been hurt. Guess what happens when you put all women, brother, and all men, sister, in the same category? It blinds you from seeing the ones that's not. I'm going to say it again. When you put all of the opposite gender in the same situation, you know what you've done? You have closed off the one that's actually for you, because that pain is blinding you and that distrust is blinding you, and those lies are blinding you and actually keeping you from being able to see the truth that all men are not like that. Because I'm not like that. I know all women aren't the same. You know why? Because my wife isn't like that. I have a beautiful auntie, Auntie Queen, Auntie Penny, okay, that are phenomenal women. In fact, my grandmother that just transitioned, she was with my grandfather, okay, until the day she transitioned. All of them had the same. My auntie, my father, all of my father's siblings, they all had the same father. Okay, so they was together until my grandfather transitioned, and there it is. My wife's mother, man, I have a beautiful mother-in-law. Beautiful mother-in-law. Okay, same husband. My father-in-law, before he passed, okay, all of my wife's siblings have the same father. Okay, her mother and father was married until the day he transitioned. Okay, so that lets me know right there. I'm gonna say it again. That lets me know right there. Okay, Coretta Scott King, Betty Shabazz, powerful women, good women, right? Women of good moral character. You understand? So that lets me know that all women are not the same. So again, you have to heal from those things that is blinding you and keeping you from seeing the truth and keeping you from your blessing and your blessings in life, because it's affecting your social life. Okay, we have an elder out here. My elder Rhonda, our good sister, said all is well. Hey, glad to hear that, sis. Glad to hear that. My sister said, yep, facts. Hey, good evening, Queen Mother. Thank you for tuning in. Mother said, good evening, Bockarie. She said, awesome live, and the book is something that should be accessed by a lot. Thank you for sharing, Mother. My good sister, she said, no shame to it. No shame to it. I'm seeing a psychologist right now. Wow. Take your power back. Forgive. All right. All right. This is right on time. I love confirmation. Yes. Queen Mother said, release it because it will eat on your psyche. Absolutely. And when your mind is out of control, your life is out of control. Speak the truth. The families are truly broken because of the false teachings. Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of us, before the colonizers even got a hold of us in society, our families was violating us. Okay? We had aunties and uncles and some of our fathers and even mothers, okay, violated us. And I'm not necessarily talking about sexually either, okay? I'm talking about mentally violating us, calling us names, calling you ugly, you know what I'm saying? Your own parents jealous of you. Family, we got to deal with these things. We have to deal with these things. And until we confront these internal issues, we are going to keep continually having the same problems. It's not just colonization that messed up us as a people. Before some of us, even society got a hold of us, the ones that supposed to love us didn't love us right. Sis said, when our minds are clouded by hatred, selfishness, jealousy, and anger, we lose not only control but also our judgment. Wow, that's powerful. Dalai Lama, Ashe. My parents were together until my dad transitioned as well. It happens despite of adversarial times. Absolutely. My wife said it causes sickness and disease. That's true. Wow, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because some people, and it's a fact, and let me touch on that, because when I got real angry, when I held on to things, I told my wife this. And I don't know if she remember when I told her this, but I said I could feel like I get headaches, and I'll get tension in my chest. That's when I know I'm really holding on to something. And I promise you, Vibe Tribe, when I let it go, it lets me go. See, in order for it to let you go, you got to let it go. And then once you let it go, then you can grow. So let it go so you can grow. Queen Mother said, most definitely, you are on point in all ways. You and your queen, Bockarie Jombor, have done so much for our communities. I remain humbled and love you both. Thank you, Queen Mother. We loved you too. Thank you so much for that. We are humbled and honored and very flattered by that. Thank you so much. My queen said she remembered. My Queen Mother said, namaste. Let it go so you can grow. Lafayette. Lafayette. Good health, good cheer to you. So, family, we're going to end it there. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Please share this so it can help other individuals to heal. We have to come together. We have to have these real family discussions, because one lesson I learned is that deliverance does not come by hearing what you want to hear. Deliverance comes by you hearing what you don't want to hear. Okay, again, true deliverance does not come, okay, by you being lied to. If you're living a lie, then how can you be set free from a lie? So the only thing that can set you free is you knowing the truth and applying that truth, and then that truth can set you free. Okay, again, for my beautiful wife, Bockarie Jombor, and I, we thank you so much. This is our contact information here. Okay, for those of you who just want to talk, listen, we don't charge for consultations. Okay, so if some of you are afraid and you're concerned about your resources, okay, don't be concerned about that. We give you free consultations. We'll sit down with you, we'll talk with you, okay, because a lot of times people just need somebody to listen, okay, and the truth of the matter is that listening is very therapeutic for a person who needs to talk. When somebody who needs to talk needs to talk for healing, and I'm speaking from experience because I've seen a psychologist myself. Okay, I didn't need to hear a sermon. What I needed to have happen in my life at that time, I needed somebody to listen. I needed to talk, and I needed somebody to listen, because I had to get it off of my chest. And that was a way for me to mentally decompress, because I was internalizing those things. And when you internalize those things, it'll eat you up just like a cancer. Okay? And my good sister said, knowing your weakness is power. All right, so there go our information. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, remember, every Thursday and Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go Facebook Live. Okay, so please make sure you tune in. Please make sure you share and invite. Please hit the subscribe button. Okay, hit that notification bell, so whenever we go live, you'll be able to get the notification. Also, we have a private Facebook group. Okay, so please join us on Facebook. That'd be great. So we can start having some discussions in there as well. Okay, you don't have to put your private business out there. this is the reason why we giving you your information here. So if you want to have a private discussion with us, okay, we would love to sit down with you and talk with you. Okay, we understand. We've been there. We've done that. Okay, we've been through the same things that we're teaching on. And my wife and I, we only speak from experience. We don't speculate. We don't reach and grab. Okay, whatever we're talking about, we've been through it. Okay, or we counsel somebody on it. So we speak from, and these are the ways you're going to learn in life. You're going to learn from being taught, okay, experience, and observation. That's the way you're going to learn in life. Again, you're going to learn from being taught, experience, and observation. Okay? So stay tuned. See you on Sunday. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. Have a blessed rest of your evening, and may your week be the same. Peace, Vibe Tribe. Love you.